So back to where the cardio comes in, which is the part that was scary about this email for me, is that here's a cardio schematic I did here, and this represents the entire length of cardio that she does currently, say 30 minutes. If a portion of this is high intensity, this is where I would want her to be if she's feeling, or there's proof that she's losing muscle. I would want to see a very small portion of this cardio in high intensity and a longer portion in low to medium intensity. So the high intensity, like we said, is 85% of your maximal heart rate. The low to medium intensity is 65%, or you can be as low as 55 too, of your maximal heart rate. Because, this is the key here, the high intensity cardio primarily uses glycogen as its fuel source, and secondarily fat as its fuel source. The low to medium intensity cardio primarily uses fat for its fuel source, and secondarily glycogen. And not in that order, mind you. These are just priority orders, not order of actually how it happens, because they both start with glycogen. If you are leaning down, you have to limit your carbohydrates, either on a carb cycle or you're low carbing for a period of time. If you have low glycogen stores, then there's not as much glycogen available to your body, i.e. taking in carbohydrates that are stored as glycogen in the muscles and in your liver and free floating in your blood. So if you don't have as much glycogen to go to, your body is going to burn through it very quickly, and then it can go through the fat, but it's going to use, if it's in high intensity, it's going to burn through the glycogen very fast because there's not a lot there. So it will opt to stay at that high intensity, right? Because it's not easy for it to use fat as the fuel source, because fat is kind of inefficient, right? You need time to break down that fat, which is why when you're slow and methodical, you've got the time to do that. So you're going to burn through that glycogen really fast, and your body, given the choice of going, okay, this is high intensity, I'm going to have to fuel this, it's going to be quicker for me to use amino acids, muscle tissue, than it is for me to go and use fat right now, okay, when your glycogen stores are really low. So, but on the low end, you're going to burn through that glycogen, and you then automatically go to fat burning. If this high intensity is lower, making up a lower portion of your cardio, you're going to burn through that glycogen, and the benefit of that, of staying in that high intensity for a shorter period of time, is that you're going to get those afterburn effects that are so beneficial for fat loss, and you're going to burn some fat during that time too. But you have to be much more conservative with it, and you're going to have to utilize this lower end a little bit more. You don't have to leave out high intensity cardio. You definitely want that, but just not as much. When you're in your muscle building phase, you're taking in a lot of food, you're getting plenty of carbs, so you've got a nice glycogen store that you can actually utilize. You can burn through it if you want, right? You're going to refuel it after your workout anyway to help build the muscle. But you've got plenty to spare, so you might as well max out that calorie burning and translation fat burning. But when you are so restricted with your calories and your glycogen stores are already low, you don't have as much to burn. So you use both types of cardio, which is going to ultimately save your lean mass. But you don't have to really do this type of program until you get into this 12-week mark, where you're actually working to preserve the muscle. So that's what I would recommend, is easing up on the high intensity, still using it, but balancing it out with some low intensity too, so you get the maximal fat burning.